welcome back. This is Kira Collins with Team Iron Angels, and I'm here with one of my athletes, Jamie Cline. So we have a few questions for her. So one of the first ones is kind of remind the audience how we met.
I'm Jamie Cline. Hey everybody, I met Kira. It was actually really weird. I was going to Simple Nutrition in Greeley and I just had a baby like 4 months prior, and I wanted to get back into fitness and I wanted to feel good about myself, and I always was contemplating doing a show. I didn't really know if it'd be something I'd want to do because I had some, physical aspects of, having a baby, like abdominal separation, that I wasn't sure what coaches were well versed in that. And so I was referred to her through a friend at Simple Nutrition, and they're like, hey, go check out Gold's Gym. So I did, and I met with Kira, and she said, you would be my first competitor. So when are we doing this? And I said, I guess I'm doing this. And we did. So it was actually really nonchalant. It was really easy to jump in, and I got to meet like a whole new group of friends. So it was great.
Perfect. What got you into fitness in the first place?
So I've always been a very active person. I want to say I was super active in high school, but that's not the truth. I was a rodeo girl, so I rode horses for a long time, and I competed in barrel racing, gymkhanas. I was with the Stampede Riders for a long time, and then I transitioned to reining, and that was kind of where I stuck. So my athleticism was really on the back of a horse, and you had to be pretty fit to do that. But I lifted here and there, but it wasn't ever very intensely. I had some good muscle mass, so I just did it for stress relief. It wasn't something that I was super competitive in at the time. So, but I was active for the most part. Just wanted to be healthy.
Oh, perfect. So how did you feel after your first show? Like finally getting on stage, getting off stage? How do you finally feel now that you've done it once?
It was amazing, and I was so hungry by the end. But it was great. It was amazing. I would definitely do it again. My first show, it was such an aha experience for me because I saw my little one in the what do you call it, auditorium, and she was cheering for me with my mom, and she literally said like woohoo, like go mom, and it was just like, oh, my heart melted because I wanted to be the best version of myself for her, and it was the absolute best decision but the hardest decision to make, like prioritizing myself. And I think a lot of moms have that self-guilt of, I have a family to feed and I have to make sure that I take care of my little one, dinner's on the table, and I have a husband to take care of, and I have 4 other children to take care of, and you can feel a lot of guilt in terms of putting yourself first. And I got a lot of pushback at first when I started my prep. I really had to self-reflect and remind myself as to why I was doing it. I had a lot of support, but I also had a lot of pushback of, why aren't you eating this? And just be fun. It's just one drink, or it's just, one pizza. And I had to keep the end goal in mind and push myself of like, no, you're worth it. And this is important for you, regardless of what other people want or think they want for you. I had to really convince myself that this is something I was going to do for me. And when show day came, it was 100% all worth it. It was so much fun. I have pictures to look back on. I was hungry. I was very hungry, but it was all worth it at the end. And I would definitely want to like challenge myself even more. And I learned a lot about my mental state in terms of like self-discipline, where I struggled, where I didn't really realize how much self-discipline it took to be in prep. Like I thought, oh, I can do this. Let me tell you, it's a lot of self-commitment. It's a lot of nights where you're hungry and you're tired, especially toward the end. Like the mental stamina that is needed is very, very intense. And we also are very hard on ourselves because we think that we have to have perfection. So you learn a lot about your relationship with food, how you've associated food in your life with other people. And that was for me a big piece of integrating my experience into my mental health and really taking a step back and self-reflecting on, I don't have to have the perfect body to do this. I don't have to have the perfect support system. What I have and what I have to offer is good enough. But that was a journey to get to that place, because I am very hard on myself. I'm an overachiever, as I think many people are, and it's great, and that's what leads to success, but it can also be our worst enemy at times. So self-grace, self-forgiveness, not being too hard on yourself is really important. I'm pretty sure I went way over the question, but
And so that kind of goes into the next one. Like, what's a piece of advice you'd give to like a brand new competitor, like stepping on stage for the first time?
Yeah. The best advice that I would have would be, do it for you and just enjoy the journey, because we're so focused on stepping on stage. We're practicing, we're posing, we're sending in our check-in photos, we're lifting, we're thinking of and visualizing ourselves on show day, which is like amazing. And ultimately it's just about fun. It's about community. It's about making friends and feeling good about yourself and increasing your self-confidence. Your sense of self is huge. So just having fun and doing it for the right reasons.
And then what did you eat afterwards?
Oh, what did I eat? So the first thing I ate after the show was over backstage, I had a crumble cookie. And then there was Winchell's Donuts in the back, a locker room. So I had a Winchell's donut. And then I had nachos and a quesadilla. And then I was feeling really full. And then I had to go home and go to bed. And I was like dying. But I didn't throw up. Kira prompted me, you might throw up. I didn't throw up. I controlled myself. But the food was delicious. And another piece that makes me think of is, there's a lot of guilt when you indulge afterwards, because you're so restricted and you're so self-disciplined, and you have this idea that food is fuel. And in the, during those 20 weeks or 15 weeks of prep, you're absolutely right. And it's okay. It's okay to treat yourself. Your body needs it. It's going to use it as fuel. And I think that stems down to what kind of relationship do you have with food? Because I didn't have a lot of guilt. I mean, it felt, my body kind of felt sick after, but I think that's more of a physical response because I hadn't had those things for a long time. But I had earned that, and I was like, my body's going to use this as fuel. I'm not going to gain 20 pounds overnight. And I was very mindful when I ate. So I was like, I enjoyed it. I didn't indulge and make myself throw up. I was very balanced with it, which again makes it why I'm able to sit, my stage percent was at 9%, which usually you're a little bit leaner than that, but I was totally happy with where I was. And now I'm sitting at 15%. So my body's happy. I'm thriving. My body's doing great and I feel good. And I feel like I look great. And I'm happy with it. And I didn't gain, 20 to 50 pounds. I gained 2 pounds from stage weight. And obviously I haven't been lifting as much. So I've lost a little bit of muscle mass, which is why my body percent is a little higher. But, yeah, that's what I ate. But ultimately, be mindful with food.
Yes. And then, what's your favorite thing about the Team Iron Angels and me as a coach and just us as a team?
So Team Iron Angels, it's my OG. I'm part of the OG. I love it. I love the cohesiveness and the support and the love that we all have for each other. I don't think, at least in my experience in my life, I don't know what it is, but I've had a hard time building really connected, genuine relationships with women, probably for a variety of reasons, right? But I feel every one of them love me and support me and are there for me, and I could they're real friends. They don't judge at all. And I think that it just makes it feel really safe, really fun, and really supportive, where it's a place that you can grow and you can, ultimately be who you want to be.
Perfect. Um, any other kind of final comments or reflection or anything like that? Or
Yeah, so I think ultimately the prep was probably one of the best things I could have done for myself. Like I said, I was really early postpartum. I hadn't, so when I was pregnant, it was like during COVID, and I hadn't trained a whole lot before then. And well, I had trained, I had muscle mass, but it wasn't like I was in the gym every day, everything was closed. So I was just trying to like be on the treadmill. I was trying to, eat good, be mindful of what I ate. And so when I gave birth, I only gained about 8 pounds. And so then when I went into prep, I was 6 months postpartum. And so as soon as I was 6 months postpartum and started training, I started to realize that I just wanted something more for myself, and the commitment was well worth it. And then I started noticing that mind and body connection. I am a So I have my master's in clinical and mental health counseling, and then a bachelor's in psychology and criminal justice. And so the mind body connection is what really got me. And I said, what are people experiencing when they're in prep? What challenges do they have? Where is anxiety and depression stemming from? And what's their relationship like with food that can really make this feel detrimental? And what's their support system like that's hindering their mind body connection? Do they mindfully eat? Do they engorge? Do they binge? Do they restrict? Like all of these pieces. I'm like, then post show, prior show, I'm noticing a lot of competitors that have like body dysmorphia, and then they feel almost disgusting in the body they had before because it's softer, right? And so it really stemmed this thought of like, how can I support women who want to compete or just want to lose weight for a lifestyle, to feel good and want to have a healthy life, have a better sense of self-love and learn to really love themselves for who they are on the inside so that they can love themselves on the outside. And a part of that journey, I think, and how I want to help women is implementing my expertise in mental health and trauma into fitness, and being able to support competitors, lifestyle clients, and other people who just want support in fitness. And I want to be able to, support Kira and her clients in that way. So I think that would be a good transition to like onboard the team, so to speak.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all great. So thank you for letting the audience know just about who you are, what you're gonna bring to the team as well too. Yeah, we're super excited to have you join us and also compete again with Iron Angels in the future as well too. So thank you for interviewing with me today.